Have you ever stopped and wondered if there's a pattern to faith? Like a real blueprint you can follow? Well, it turns out there might just be one, hidden in this brief encounter in the Gospel of John. We're going to look at how one man, Andrew, follows this amazing step-by-step path that really becomes a timeless model for discovery. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, so it all kicks off right here with this huge dramatic declaration. John the Baptist points right at Jesus and makes an announcement that just changes everything. Not just for the whole crowd, but for one guy in particular who is hanging on his every word.
To really get what's going on here, we have to picture the scene. Andrew, he's not just some random guy in the crowd. The source material says he had an ache for the Word of God. I mean, think about that. He wasn't there by accident. He put himself right where John was preaching because he was just starving for truth.
Now, what's so fascinating is how Andrew's response is broken down into three very specific, very deliberate actions. This isn't just something that happened to him. No, this was an active, intentional pursuit on his part.
So let's break these steps down. First, Andrew stands where the Word is. He puts himself in the right place to receive it. Simple, but crucial. Second, he doesn't just listen, he really hears it. He's alert, he's focused. And third, he follows. And get this, the Greek word used here implies a total, decisive, once-and-for-all commitment. He is all in.
So as Andrew and another disciple start to follow, the camera kind of shifts. Even though this is Andrew's big moment, his critical hour, the focus suddenly turns to Jesus, who shows this powerful eagerness to connect with them.
And it's this simple act. Jesus turned. But it's so profound, right? He doesn't make them chase him. He doesn't ignore them. He immediately turns to face them. It's described as this perfect picture of open arms, this radical welcome. He's taking the initiative.
And then, he asks this question. The source material points out how brilliant this is. Notice he doesn't ask, who do you seek, but what do you seek? That little change goes so much deeper than just identity. It gets to the absolute core of what we all long for.
I mean, look at this. This one question covers the whole spectrum of our deepest human needs. Are you looking for a purpose? Are you trying to escape from pain? Do you just want to feel accepted? Jesus cuts right through it all and gets to the heart of their search, and really, our search too.
So Andrew and his friend, they answer with their own question. Where do you dwell? They want more than just a quick chat on the side of the road. And Jesus' reply? It's immediate, it's wide open, no tests, no conditions, just come and see.
In this simple invitation, it leads right to what's called Andrew's great decision. He goes, he accepts the invitation, and this moment was so huge, so pivotal, that decades later, when this was being written down, the author still remembered the exact time of day it all happened.
Now the key word here is remained. The text says they abode with him. This wasn't just dropping by for a quick chat. No, this was a deep, life-altering encounter. Andrew didn't just visit, he stayed. And in that one decision to remain, his entire life was completely reoriented.
So, what happens next? What's the very first result of this massive, life-changing decision? It's not quiet meditation. It's this immediate, unstoppable urge to go tell somebody. The peace, the joy he found, it was just too much to keep to himself.
And who's the first person he runs to? His family. His very first impulse was to find his own brother Simon, because he wanted the person closest to him in the world to experience what he had just found. And here it is. This is his testimony. It's not complex, it's not some deep theological argument, it's a simple, powerful, direct statement of fact that came from his own experience. We found him. We found the one we've all been waiting for. This brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful scene in this whole story. Andrew brings his brother, Simon, to meet Jesus. And in this meeting, Jesus just shows this profound insight, not just into who Simon is, but into who he's going to become. The original text uses a really specific word here, beheld. This wasn't a casual glance. It means to look with this intense, earnest gaze, to see right into someone's innermost being. Jesus looked right past the fisherman on the surface and saw the very core of who Simon was.
And this contrast just perfectly lays out the transformation Jesus sees. He looks at Simon, who's described as, flawed and self-centered, and he calls him Cephas, which means the rock. He's not just giving him a nickname. He's declaring the strong, solid man he's going to be.
This whole encounter is basically a living, breathing,
picture of this core theological truth. It's like this verse is playing out right in front of us. Jesus doesn't just see what we are, with all our flaws. He sees the potential inside us. He sees the new creation, and he has the power to make it a reality.
So we end up with this thought. Andrew's journey, it started with him actively looking, actively seeking. But it ended with his brother being truly seen, truly beheld. And it leaves us with this really powerful question. What does it mean to be fully known, not just for who we are right now, but for everything we have the potential to become?